It is, a horrendous thing to see, and it happens all too often. I'm thinking about him and his, family, and I hope, that he makes a recovery from this.
Shocking
You heard
and
me?
tragic, and we're all praying Charlie's going to be okay.
There is just no justification for the political violence that we're seeing in this country. I am very upset at the shooting of Charlie Kirk. He's a father with young children. He travels to college campuses to interact with young people. He's a wonderful person, and this is just appalling. When you think about this on top of the horrific murder of the young woman from Ukraine, and that followed the shooting of young Catholic children at Mass, it makes you wonder what is going on in our country that this kind of violence is so prevalent.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Well, unfortunately, we don't know enough information. Charlie's actually a very good friend of mine. It scares you to death for he and his family. Unfortunately, there's crazy people in the world. We don't know exactly anything about this shooter and why he did it or what the facts are. But I guess we'll get the facts and find out what happened here. But my prayers are that Charlie's going to be completely safe and completely recover. He's a wonderful person. He's a wonderful family man. So my heart goes out to him.
Do you know anything about the status of his condition? Are you in touch with anyone in his orbit right now?
I've been reaching out, but I haven't talked to anybody yet.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you,
sir.
Senator.
Appreciate your time.
What we're seeing right now is a chilling reminder of just how fragile our political climate has become. Several senators have spoken out following the shooting of Charlie Kirk, and their reactions, while heartfelt, open up a much larger conversation that we need to have as a country. One senator expressed deep concern, calling it horrendous, and pointing to the painful fact that incidents like this are happening far too often. And that's not just a political soundbite, it's a sobering truth. Violence, especially politically motivated violence, has been on the rise in America, and the fear it creates doesn't just touch public figures like Charlie Kirk, but everyday citizens who worry about whether divisions in this country are pushing us into dangerous territory. Another senator underscored that Charlie Kirk isn't just a political figure. He's a father, someone who travels to college campuses to engage with young people, and, in their words, a wonderful person. They connected this tragedy to other recent acts of violence, from the murder of a young woman from Ukraine to the mass shooting of Catholic children at worship. These comparisons highlight a painful pattern. Communities across America, no matter their background, are being shaken by acts of violence that feel both random and targeted. And it leaves many of us asking, what exactly is happening in our society that makes this kind of violence seem so frequent, so pervasive, and so normalized? Another senator, speaking as a personal friend of Charlie Kirk, put it bluntly, "We don't yet know the motives of the shooter. We don't have the full facts, and speculation doesn't help. But what we do know is that moments like these are terrifying. They shake families, friends, and supporters to their core, and they remind us how quickly public discourse can cross the line into physical danger." Here's where we need to take a step back. No matter where you stand politically, there is no justification for violence in a democracy. The very foundation of this country rests on the principle that disagreements are worked out through debate, dialogue, and yes, even protests, but never through a gun, never through intimidation, and never through bloodshed. When we normalize violence, or when we allow ourselves to cheer when it happens to the other side, we erode the basic democratic values that are supposed to protect us all. What's also important here is that this incident doesn't exist in isolation. It ties into a broader conversation about polarization in America. Public figures are more at risk than ever before because our politics has become so charged, so personal, and so fueled by anger. And that anger isn't just coming from one side. It's being stoked across the spectrum by media echo chambers, by social media algorithms, and by leaders who sometimes prefer division to unity because it keeps them politically relevant. This is where we as citizens need to pause and reflect. If political violence is becoming more common, what does that mean for our communities, our elections, and even for the next generation that's watching all of this unfold? What lessons are young people supposed to take away when they see public discourse devolve into threats and shootings? Charlie Kirk's shooting, like any act of political violence, is not just about the victim. It's about the signal it sends to the rest of us, that disagreements in this country are becoming existential, that winning is no longer about persuasion, but about silencing the opposition. That is a dangerous place for a democracy to be. So as we wait for more updates on Charlie Kirk's condition and the circumstances surrounding this tragic event, it's worth remembering that the solution doesn't just lie with law enforcement or with new security measures. It also lies with us, how we talk to each other, how we hold leaders accountable when they fan the flames, and how we choose to engage in civic life. This is a moment to recommit ourselves to rejecting violence, no matter who the target is, and to demanding a political culture that values debate over destruction. And I want to leave you with this. History shows us that when nations allow political violence to fester, it rarely stays confined. It spreads, it hardens, and it weakens the entire democratic system. But history also shows us that people have the power to pull back from the brink, to choose dialogue, to choose peace, and to choose to protect the very system that allows us to disagree without fear. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it so more people can join in on this important conversation. Let's keep the dialogue going in the comments. How do you think America can de-escalate this climate of violence and polarization?